Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Scratching Post. We scratch at that gaming itch. It is Saturday evening. It is a hot Saturday evening if you're here in the UK. And a Saturday can only be one thing. It's time for some silly voices. The time where I gather some great friends of mine together and we put our voice talents, I say that in inverted commas, speaking about myself mostly.
How dare you?
Yourself.
How dare you?
I know where you live, sir. I will go over there and be kind to you.
True,
Your
but
mom's voice
That is a
is
threat.
my canon voice, right? Stop it.
in my defense, we're not professional voice actors. So
That is true.
So
You're good at what you do.
Yeah.
So shush.
So in case any of you are new here, because I've been posting some socials into some new channels, which I've recently joined. I gather my friends, and we basically are playing the Ace Attorney games, and we've so far done Apollo Justice, Investigations 1, and we're now making our way through Dual Destinies, which we are over the halfway point. So, now you're wondering, who am I? My name's Eback, the one who runs this channel here at the Scratching Post, but I'm going to introduce our cast for tonight. As always, the same regular suspects are here, aligned against the wall. Please identify them. We have Burr.
Also, this is space.
Drifting.
Justice we trust.
Divot. K.
Silence.
Lemming.
Objection in space.
And and Shadow. Bringing back our character from last time.
Yes. Perfect.
So
I did the judge. I did the judge because drifting took care of my other line.
Yeah, I stole your line. I had to.
I mean, I could try Franziska, but it would take me a while to get back into character.
sometimes that happens.
I need like the pure condensed rage within me.
And contempt. You need to have the contempt as well for Franziska.
Yeah, the contempt's important.
The contempt's important, because Franziska is a woman of great contempt.
Great power.
And great power. Anyway,
I love the power in the wrist.
I will break them over my knee.
That's what she said.
Oh my!
As we start off the Cosmic Turnabout. Now, we saw the cutscene at the end of last week's episode, but we're going to view it again, because in case anyone who might be new to the show, so let's load it up.
Well, we need a Discord.
Yeah. While they're watching it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're not allowed to see it twice.
The courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. Ted Ternate was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing. If only it were that simple. Somehow I can't help but think... There's a darker influence at work. One that's lurking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I've got more than a few personal stakes in it.
It came from space. It's lurking in the shadows. It's Cell, isn't it? It's Cell. I knew it.
Be Venom.
It's Venom.
Same font.
Venom.
Until launch, please begin your final equipment check. Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are. Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
The red emergency button pressed.
Call a meeting.
Yes. December 16th, 9:12 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 5. We're moving up in lobbies.
I want to ask one question before we
Yes.
start. I just want to speculate. When we finish this case and Apollo solves the case, will they name the space exploration effort in his honor Apollo program?
That'd be interesting. Okay, so time for the trial to begin. But this one is different. Oh. Okay, Kay, do we know who this is? Is this Solomon?
I think so?
Okay, so
I can look.
who wants to take Mr. Solomon's soulbox? You're welcome to give him a voice until you see him. But he's a male. He's an astronaut.
He's got a rocket for a head. Not actually, but like his hair looks like a rocket.
Yeah.
Makes his head look like a rocket.
Like a rocket or like suspicious?
You
I
could
can
say
do
he's
rock.
a rocket man.
It's Rocket Man.
No, it's in fact not Starbuck. It is Burr.
That's Burr.
It's Juniper.
How appropriate.
Sorry to bother you, but are you all right, Apollo?
Ah! Was I making a scary face just now? Oh! Hi, Juniper! Yes, I'm fine! I was just doing my core steel exercises. Now I'm all ready to go!
That's a scary face.
I didn't know he was a Pokemon.
Yes, boy, I'm sure you'll go just fine. I brought you lunch. I brought you a present from my garden. It's an eggplant.
Is this a lotus root?
That's right. My grandma says lotus fruit is good for your eyes. She even said that if you look through the holes, you can see into the future. I was looking through it and I saw my future husband. Because it's hollow inside, see?
Right.
It's for good luck. Maybe later you can cook it and...
Thanks for this! I'm gonna have some right now!
Oh my! It's toxic when you...
What a trust for him.
You can't eat it raw. Thank you for the enthusiastic try.
Why did I just imagine him like unhinging his jaw like a snake?
She didn't think me weird before, she will now. I've got to calm down.
Apollo, I'm sorry I'm late!
Ow.
What are you doing?
Don't Lotus have medicine like sedatives? I have to check that. But
I just googled it. Adding lotus root to your diet can help with preventing allergies and infections and several fungal infections like ringworm, smallpox, and leprosy.
that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, well, there you go. That is good.
Congratulations, Apollo! You are now cured of parasites.
Yeah. Lotus root is also pretty popular as a barbecue vegetable. It's pretty good.
I didn't know.
Also, one of the rarest cards in Magic the Gathering. Well, the
The more
Black
you know.
anyway.
Yeah.
Have you read Reddit, by the way, Burr?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it. You sly little thing, you.
Athena, stop.
I'm kidding around, Athena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set?
Apollo, why don't you ever figure it out?
Figure what out?
Oh, for fuck's
The
sake.
Starbuck.
Oh, this is Starbuck.
Oh, God.
Excuse me?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take it.
Big sigh.
Yes.
It's a big size, is it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Massive sigh.
It's the biggest size.
Ah!
It sounded more like a
Wow.
death cry, but okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard.
Ah, this is it. It's all over for me. They're going to find me guilty.
This is our client, one Mr. Solomon Sol Starbuck. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person. The scene of the crime this time happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much.
Apollo, space nerd. Who would have thunk it?
But that's where we met Mr. Starbuck. When asked about space travel, he'd launch into story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero.
Is his side gig coffee?
Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo?
Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder.
Thanks, but... I was supposed to be in space right about now.
Well, just use your Iron Man chest piece and play it.
It's a proof that Solomon Starbuck has a heart.
He's so he's so depressed. It almost seems like an act. The launch getting called off must have been a huge shock.
I'll probably never get the chance to go to space again.
Don't say that. Don't stop believing. Besides, you just have to go. You just have to go into space again.
Onto that field.
Yeah. I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I run it away in a cell.
Clay Terran, I can't believe he was murdered. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command.
Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. He was always so full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." How could something like this happen to a guy like him, huh?
I've never seen Mr. Starbuck so down.
Clay's gone, and I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now.
It's very cheerful, isn't he?
Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine.
What is it? What's with the yelling?
I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. In exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise?
I hope I get in there.
Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence?
Ooh. Well, about that.
Jet.
We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I'd like, thanks to the police.
Or at all? I'm done for. I'm a goner.
No, I think you was the goner.
Everybody thinks I did it.
I don't think he should be going back to space.
Thought I was gonna stall like a comet. I'm just gonna crash like a meteorite.
No, don't say that, Mr. Starbuck.
Get yourself out yet?
I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you gotta keep going.
What about you, Apollo?
What about me?
I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend?
We need to focus on the trial right now. Are you ready to? Are you all ready to go?
The trial is about to begin. The defense, will you please proceed to courtroom?
Okay. Hey, here we go.
This is it. This is one trial I can't afford to lose.
Were there any?
For Clay's sake and our clients, I will find Clay's killer.
I don't think Sal should be going to space. If his tip breaks off the graphite parts, we'll get into the circuits.
December 16th, 9:55 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
I think you need to kill Drifting with that statement, but... Something reassuring about seeing the judge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I want to say in that pose, it definitely looks like he's stood up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He has legs. You just
I
aren't
have
allowed to-
legs.
You're just not allowed to see them. The secret legs.
for the trial of Solomon
Hidden legs.
He started doing leg days.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Mr. Justice.
Yes, Your Honor?
What happened to your eye?
I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is fine.
Are you sure? I don't.
I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is ready.
I've just lost some depth perception. It's fine.
God damn it. Shadow. Let me get back into the zone. I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a sty. What?
It's like when your eye starts bleeding, I think.
No, it's
No.
when you've got an infection of where your eyelash is, and it
Mhm.
kind of fucking sucks.
It does. I've had them before. For anyone who's new here, Shadow is our medical expert.
Yes.
Yes.
Pro tip: don't go googling images of them.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't seem
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a good
Please
idea.
don't.
Yeah,
we have several experts on the show. I say experts because they know a lot about things. They're not qualified, quote unquote, unless Shadow's case technically.
And please,
Technically, I am. I have a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Science,
There you go.
and I'm also an accredited clinical coder working in the NHS. But
There
that
you go.
does that. So whilst that means I do know about medical things, I cannot operate on people.
Yes, you can't have people. And Lemming is our weapons expert.
Yes. He can.
Yeah, probably-
He can and will kill you though.
I also wanted to brag on Shadow's behalf. She was watching a few episodes of House MD with us.
Yeah.
And she solved a few cases before House.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I suppose there's something he doesn't want to discuss. Maybe he's entering a touchy age.
So you get touchy in your old age.
Very well.
That's
And
when-
Watson. The prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence.
Angie.
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet.
Hmm.
Nah! Ah!
Ah!
Starts with a bang.
Prosecution is now ready.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, it didn't take him long this time. I'm getting used to this.
What's up with Blackwell?
I don't know.
Now then, I shall give the opening statement.
Silence.
Ah!
Silence!
What's up with those cheap ass chains?
I'll do it.
They're really good chains. It's just like we're fucking swole.
Yeah.
Well, what an unexpected surprise.
This time, I can't leave it to anyone else.
I see. Something was off with the two of you today.
Well, one of them is missing an eyeball.
Not
You must seem
thing.
different
Oh, yeah,
somehow.
yeah, I know.
Pretty simple if you would.
It was just yesterday. Crimes in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. Nope, not me.
Ah, that famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology, right?
Astronomy. It's astronomy. Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there.
But the Pisces would not know that.
Correct.
Well done.
But at 9:12 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, two explosive devices were detonated and the launch was cancelled.
I heard. Cool bombs. How dreadful.
The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One Mr. Solomon Starbuck.
Oh, he's a
For
thief.
whatever inane reason, he had detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in.
Solomon's hog? I recognize his name. Isn't he that famous astronaut?
Correct, your boldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hat 1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success.
What is this franchise obsession with the number 7?
7's a
Yeah.
lucky number, I think, in Japan.
7 is the number of God.
Yeah, well, yeah. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend.
I remember now. He became something of an international celebrity, right? They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. We've got a real space pioneering quantity.
But even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Now turning to the subject at hand.
Ah, yes. The victim was one Mr. Clay Terran, a small bit of the defendant.
Indeed. A loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor.
Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing?
Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant. And so, he was sent not into space, but to the universe which we mortals cannot see.
Clay.
I think I've heard enough. The case seems pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there's something I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand.
Yep.
It spells loser. What purpose does it serve exactly?
I was thinking the same thing.
Actually, it doesn't say loser. It says,
Yeah.
it says Le Hue. The Hue.
Yeah.
I must admit, when I first glanced at it, I thought it said looker, and I was like, why are we making a reference to Pokemon here?
Since you asked so nicely, it's your coffin.
Ah! Have mercy on me!
Oh great, the judge left. Then we go home.
I jest. It's evidence.
JK.
I was just fucking with you, Your Honor.
Fair play. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a meme I've sent Kate
Yeah,
a million
exactly. Yeah,
times.
that was what I was referencing, yes.
Yeah, amazing.
Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get to the contents of the box in due time.
What's in the box?
I feel like I just lost 50 years of my life.
Does he even have 50 years left?
I heard that.
In a monologue, Athena. In a monologue.
My what? You want to my what?
This fourth wall's feeling awfully thin right now.
Yeah. That was
Hello, Phoenix. Be careful there.
that was a very good stage whisper.
Enough jabbering!
Bobby Fulbright's the name. In justice we trust.
Wait, he
like how
comes
he
with
was
his
so
whistle?
firm.
Holy shit.
Detective Fulbright.
Trained for a whistle.
Yeah. Very well then, please explain the details of this incident to the court of your own. On it, first take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center.
Set.
Ah, here we are. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of this building, take a look at this cross-section that we, the police, have created. See the launch pad in the main building?
The launch pad is a square building, and the round structure is the main building, correct?
You got it! The incident took place in the launch pad 1 and the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it much easier to understand.
Space Center diagram added to the court record.
Not gonna lie, that's a pretty sweet cross section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This testimony.
I've added the meme that Kay and I were referencing
saw it, yeah.
in the bench.
Okay.
Details of the case.
Just before the rocket was sent to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom! Boom! One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building, and one in Launch Pad 1. Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in Launch Pad 1 at the time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death.
A murder on top of a bombing? Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, correct?
Yep, thinking he'd sabotage the bombing, the defendant attacked and killed the victim. Just look at this tragic photo.
In my headcanon, they're having small meeples and they're moving them on the diagram. Oh my, is that a knife in the victim's stairs?
Yes, Your Honor, it's the knife that cruelly ended this young man's dreams. We couldn't get any prints of it there because the defendant was in his spacesuit.
Utility knife added to the court record.
I don't know this informant. How will the victim's helmet and make them happen in this photograph?
No, Judge, the
We had
first
to
question
remove
you
that
asked
bullet
is
by
where
him,
was the
Your Honor.
body found?
Yeah.
The first question you asked is where was the body found?
That's not an unintelligent record. Actually, they said the boarding lounge, didn't they? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
please
So not
repeat.
an electrical then, okay.
Please repeat that, please, David.
We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. He personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all.
Yes, it would be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprints. Now, there is one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What is this round thing next to the victim in this photo?
Something so important to the victim that he took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case.
It's the most important thing in this case. I must admit.
Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Cantono.
So, we know that the bomb in the main building was on the 2nd floor, but where was the bomb that was in the launch pad 1 located?
Haha! That one was on the rocket itself. It was situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently, the area surrounding the launch pad elevator was a sea of flames. I would like to submit this diagram and report into the record.
Bombing report added to the court record.
Trial just started and we're already in a bind.
You get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examination is for, right?
Fair enough.
What? That's 2 astronauts were doing during the bombing. That'll be the key.
I would hope they were doing their tasks.
Cross-examination.
Details.
been doing-
of things.
They
Go
would
on.
have been doing pre-flight checks, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Hold it!
Huh?
How powerful were the explosions?
Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down. But the room it went off in was burned black. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Due in large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation.
Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright?
Ha ha ha! I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there wherever and whenever people need my help. I'd go to the other side of the world, or even the edge of the universe.
So basically it just came from the void.
I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is. But I guess I'll leave that one alone.
Don't underestimate him, Apollo. Bobby Fulbright can run a hell of a fast.
Don't underestimate Captain Justice.
He's a speedster.
Aha!
Admiral decision, Justice Dono.
What did you decide?
Anyway, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at that time?
The bomb cut the power to the central bank of elevators in the third floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup.
And how did the evacuation go?
I immediately and heroically whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter.
How?
The basement shelter? Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center.
Shelter, huh? Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom of the diagram.
I'm sure there are stairs, Shadow. Just on the diagram.
Yeah, I know, but
The Space Center is pretty impressive to have its own shelter. I didn't realize that was me.
Evacuation report added to the court record.
well, it makes sense to have a shelter down there because, like, rockets are essentially gigantic bombs standing upright.
Yeah. Can we take a look at the report in case there's something extra?
That's a good idea. Police officer and riot police gave evacuation instructions immediately. There was a power outage, and the affected areas remained dark. The security system switched over to emergency power and continued to work. Evacuees moved to the basement shelter.
Okay, no thanks.
No, it might be useful later.
Can we
A
look at the
phrase could come
autopsy?
Autopsy?
Yeah,
Of
sorry.
course. That's fine.
Please.
Hopefully it won't get updated.
Cause of death, stabbing. The victim was discovered in the third floor boarding lounge in the main building. All we have is the photograph.
Seems a little odd that there doesn't seem to be any, like... I mean, this is one stab wound.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going at somebody in a rage, there's going to be a lot of holes.
Yeah.
That seems to indicate that Clay wasn't expecting it.
Also, we've already seen that in one of the previous cases when the knife is still in the wound, you don't get that much blood flow. So what's all that blood doing there, especially with a spacesuit being pretty thick because you know space?
Yeah, good point.
Space.
Yeah.
Space.
I'm going to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
Space!
Someone picked up on that joke. Thank you, Shadow.
That wouldn't work in today's world, unfortunately.
No.
Even space has been monetized.
The power outage evacuation seems unrelated to the murder at this point. I guess I'll leave it aside for now. So there were 2 explosions in total, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Hold it. Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives.
What are you talking about?
If the defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket, he'd get caught in the explosion as well.
I hadn't thought of that.
You don't think of a lot of things, Judge.
I heard that, Mr. Wright.
Fine. A simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright, the motive.
Understood! The defendant actually had astrophobia.
Astrophobia? What's that?
A fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space could cause the afflicted to freeze up. And so, in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute.
The fuck?
That's absurd!
Correct.
Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these.
Where are they?
These anti-anxiety tablets were found among the defendant's possessions.
Oh boy, can I borrow them?
Hey, me first.
Apparently, he was taking them in secret to quell his fears.
There's 3, 1 for each.
With that said, anxiety and phobia is not the same thing, though. They overlap,
technically-
but
Well, technically it's fear
Technically,
or
they
aversion.
are just phobias are a more they tend to be a more entrenched anxiety that escalates into all right fear, while anxiety is basically low level fear all the fucking time. Like extremely slow tigers are chasing me.
Yeah.
Hey, that's me.
But it's a lot of them, and they are relentless. Just
Yes.
you know, it's
But
you're.
I just mean in this case, he could have anxiety for other
yeah.
reasons, and the fact that he's
Yeah.
being lost in space.
That is true.
Yeah, besides, he was on a successful space mission that brought him fame before. So was he drugged all the time on that mission? Why did he even apply to be an astronaut?
I
Yeah.
have a feeling we're gonna find out that somebody's been lying an awful lot. Just have this hunch.
Gut feeling.
I
Yeah.
have a hunch that those were planted on him. Or they were someone else's. Maybe they were Clay Turrets.
Maybe. We'll see.
There were a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck rode 7 years ago. Rumor has it, it threatened to crash a number of times as well.
Someone's built it out of an old barrel.
That, of course, was very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Now I'm just picturing a rocket like, if we don't stop, I'm gonna crash. I swear.
If you don't behave, I'm going to crash or turn this plane back around.
Objection! But that doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own ship!
Also, I'd like to object. That sounds more like PTSD than a phobia.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
The defendant
You
couldn't
don't
bear
get-
to...
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name, now could he?
Huh?
I was just saying that I don't think you give anti-anxiety pills for PTSD, or do you?
Well, I think you can if it causes anxiety.
Yes, it basically you're managing the symptoms, like because PTSD also causes depression and such like. So you would give antidepressants to manage that symptom kind of thing. I think that's more CBT for PTSD, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
It depends. It depends. I know a lot about this. It depends on like what works for you and what doesn't work for you and all that. So
Yeah, that's fair.
no, not if the media had branded him Soul Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt.
What? So that's why you think he restored to the bombing?
Naturally, he constructed this act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the space center. To effectively abort the launch. And spare his reputation.
Now I'm sure you understand why we have to bring justice down on this atrocious criminal.
Criminal.
Yes, I like how you added these flares to the film, right? Criminal.
Criminal. The space station.
I'll be right back. If Athena pops up, someone has to take her for a sec. I'll be right back.
Sure.
All right.
Hold it! Are you sure it was only the two of them?
It was just before the spaceship was sent to launch, so of course it was only those two.
Ah, well, there could have been someone else inside that rocket.
Silence.
Silence. The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by fingerprint recognition device. Allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so.
Naturally, it's not as amazing as you think, Carla. Take a look at this photo. This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. I see. That is very different from what I had in mind. I don't know why. That came up so slowly.
I think it's supposed to be indicative
He's an
of.
old man.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like that's very different from what I. Yeah.
And is there a record of the number of people that passed through the door yesterday? Yes, there were only 3. The defendant, the victim, and... the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos.
Doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is the one who did it?
Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28. Doing his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts.
There's
Yes,
no
I-
such thing as protestation.
He has a point. I guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. Launch pad door 1 lock added to the court record.
Oh, justice. Hold it! Oh,
So, while it would appear that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct?
you got it! In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time! If the victim had been alive, he would have for sure tried to stop the bombing.
Is there any chance Mr. Terran could have been killed before he boarded the rocket?
They were both alive and well at boarding time, and embarked under their own power. Their hearts full of hopes and dreams of spice.
Spurs!
I'm in space.
Apollo, I think our detective got impersonated by Tim Curry for a second.
Yeah.
Detectives in space.
The only place where I can bring fresh justice.
Space, so much space. Gonna see it all.
And then both of their hopes and dreams were dashed.
If I make it into my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape, carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue.
Hold it! And who was the first to find the victim?
Actually, there were 2 of them.
The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm.
One of them was the detective. Yep, Detective Arm specializes in bombings, you see. She and the director were ordering the evacuation following the explosions. They were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the bombing lounge. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant.
2 witnesses, huh? And one of them is a detective. I doubt either one would have anything to say that would help me.
I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the former was killed. If this is the truth, then only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out this crime.
What little I could get out of him only hurt my case.
Justice San, foolish is the warrior who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you take a gander at this.
You know what's bothering me at the moment?
Go on.
Why, like, I can understand security, like, already being at the space center, but why riot police?
I mean,
Candace Arm already suspecting someone and investigating a potential bomber.
that could
Yeah.
be the case. Or don't forget that given, I mean, I'm only assuming, given the fact that it's like a national piece of, like, probably terrorist acts would be a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if in real life NASA had some police, and maybe even like specialized police, like riot police,
Yeah.
on site all times,
Yeah.
just in case.
Not
That's
riot
that.
police, though.
True.
You'd have
no, I
you'd
mean-
have security. You'd have security details, but I
It
would.
bears noting, NASA is technically part of the United States Air Force, so they would have armed security.
Yeah, but these specifically say
not riot
riot police.
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
why riot
In fact,
police?
That
Why?
might be a localization error.
Yeah, it's possible.
Besides, they
Yeah,
already had a detective, Bobby Fulbright, on scene.
Ah!
Why did they need more police?
I think
Good
we might.
point.
I think we might.
You only need one Captain Justice.
Of course.
I want fan art, internet. I want fan art.
Yes.
It does bear noticing that there are therefore 2 justices in this room.
Yeah. And I'm one of them.
Talking to
3.
themselves.
3 if you include the judge.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was. That's what I meant. I meant like me just talking to myself.
Ah.
5 justices.
Ah.
What is it?
Footage from a security camera. As 2 astronauts emerged from the bowels of the Launchpad 1 corridor, the boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now, I would direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering. What you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim.
What?
What? I don't think so. Well, it could
What do you
be,
think,
but
Shanna?
I don't see a knife.
Could be the angle.
Hold
though.
on. It's lying of exactly what the prosecution is hitting.
I should have known Blackwell would have something like this ready. Security camera video added to the court record.
Paul? How exactly did they determine that Clay was already gone in that footage?
Ah, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive at this point is pretty crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at this footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Terran was still alive here and that Mr. Starbuck was helping him?
I believe you're right. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
Silence.
Silence!
Eh,
Perhaps that's what it looks like to a one-eyed hothead and a dotard.
Excuse me!
No, this talking about the judge. But it only makes sense if it's the victim's dead body.
Okay, you stated as if that stops Athena from getting upset.
Fair.
That guy's not the only bird with talents here.
What do you mean?
Fulbright, explain it to Justice Son.
you got it! Ready, kid? If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it. Anyone can enter the lounge after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship, that's a horse of a different color.
Objection! But you can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out.
Silence.
Silence! Your assertion is based on emotion. It's based on your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple. But you have no logical explanation as to why the victim would still be alive.
Unfortunately, Mr. Rogers, the prosecution is right. The argument is lacking sound logic.
But it sounded perfectly logical to me.
Well, Mr. Rogers, if you have no further objections, I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close.
Objections? Well,
Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup.
Given the facts, I am not sure I see the need.
What is it, Athena?
It's just... there's something that's been bothering me.
If it isn't the defense stalling for time,
I
as
didn't ask you for
always.
your opinion.
We're both in court. I think my opinion is warranted.
No.
Very well. I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time.
Yeah. Says the prosecutor who fucked off for donuts last time.
They were delicious!
You have 5 seconds.
Fantastic. 5 seconds! You're the worst.
After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed and a verdict to be rendered. Your boldness! Raise your gavel high! It's time for a countdown! Ready?
We don't have time! Spit it out, Athena!
3 more seconds.
Look! Don't think the prosecutor's explanation is very complete!
Meaning?
Meaning there's something missing! Like, the conveniently left out unexplained.
Something they didn't explain. Something they didn't explain. Ah, you're right! I think I know what you're talking about.
Thank God, because I don't.
Your 5 seconds are up. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument that you'd like to rebut?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. There is something the prosecution has yet to make clear to this court.
Well, if you put it that way. What is that the prosecution has failed to explain?
Why the body was moved.
Yeah, exactly.
They have failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why didn't he just leave his body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble? Sorry, go on, Shadow.
It would have disposed of the evidence.
Exactly.
Yeah. He could just take the knife out and be done with it.
He wouldn't have even needed to take the knife.
Yeah.
He probably would have, but it's just like that would have that if the flames were as big and intense as Fulbright said, it would have incinerated him.
Yeah, also, I mean, there are huge fuel tanks. Rocket is 95% fuel tanks.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge?
That's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thought on that yet.
That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong? The defense proposes the defendant didn't kill the victim, he was helping him.
Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here before I nod off to his monotone monologue.
Monotone?
Have you looked in the mirror recently?
Inform him exactly why Space Boy moved the victim.
Space Boy.
You've gotta be joking.
No, Athena, that's monocular, not monotone.
It's simple. Mr. Starbuck did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create the impression he heroically risked his life to save his partner. That's why he made sure to make it to the security camera, so there'd be a record.
Then why did he not take the knife out?
Yeah, exactly.
At the very least, he appears to have achieved success with you and the old man.
Ah.
One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
And they were space mates.
The average person...
What if there was just one rocket?
And there was only one rocket.
Damn it, I almost choked on my drink.
The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds.
It's over 9,000.
Over 9,000. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape a deadly flames.
That
What a dramatic
explains.
sob story fit for the silver screen.
That explains the hair of Mr. Starbuck. He just had to go Super Saiyan God.
Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story.
You see, yet the true ending is that all traces of his hammy act were meant to be blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion!
Objection! What are you talking about? There was no further explosion.
Silence.
Indeed, you're correct. But that is thanks to Detective R. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. The steel coffin beside the witness stand, that would be a bomb transport case. We use that to transport the deactivated bomb here. It was found in the lounge, a bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy.
Tony Venti!
What?
One on the second floor of the main building, one in the launch pad, and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 firework displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated, for had it not, the victim's body and the other vital evidence would surely have been immolated.
Objection!
Objection!
Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me.
Ah, it's like he's reading my mind or something. Am I really that, Athena? Am I really that transparent?
No comment.
Your Honor, am I really that transparent?
No comment.
Mr. Wright.
No comment.
Athena definitely is because she has a mood pendant.
Sorry.
Comment, it'll be back to the bathrooms.
Still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a peculiar item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets.
What's he got in his pockets?
Specifically, a bomb detonation switch.
Oh, this motherfucker again.
I object. That's not a bomb detonation switch. That's the control for my my garage.
Also, hello.
I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence.
Hello, Super Mutant 2099.
Howdy.
Hello, Super Mutant.
When the Space Center director and Detective Arms stumbled across the murder.
And hello, Laura.
So he thought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble-brained that he is.
No. Mr. Stomach would never do anything like that. Oh, that's...
Who keeps giving this guy his sword back?
Well, not just that, but I'm still amazed he gets such a range on those feathers. Do you have any idea how difficult that is?
Yeah.
Very.
It's not
Just
a sword,
as so-
it's just his edge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there, he doesn't have a sword. Yeah. Justice Son, open your eyes and see the truth.
He's only got one at the moment, Blackwell.
It appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosive.
No.
Shadow, that really caught me off guard.
No, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth.
You must look hard.
No, can't accept it. You'll believe your client, come what may.
That's kind of the point of this game.
Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself?
This...
Maybe I will.
This is going to be a trap.
It's like Black was controlling the entire game.
Yeah, it seemed like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue.
This bitch be playing 5D chess. Why do you say that?
Time travel.
Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. And to really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down.
And then making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point is part of the plan too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Now, let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself.
We've been hearing from the arch-villain all the game so far.
Famed astronaut, Solomon Starbuck.
I need to. Oh no. Solomon Starbuck, astronaut. How did this happen?
To me.
Mr. Starbuck, can you tell me my horoscope? You're looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony?
I can give testimony, but I can't give horoscopes. No.
Well, unfortunately, no is not nothing.
I plead the fifth.
You're being accused of the space intermobbing and the murder of Clay Terran. Please certify to these allegations.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Mind if I take this suit off? It's getting really heavy.
Silence! It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but of your sins. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life.
We don't have a civvy outfit for you, so you just have to deal with it.
Banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore.
Let me play among the stars.
Wow, that was super negative. He's going to be alright up there.
He'll be fine,
That's your answer to everything!
I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is.
I'm Stan and I am fine.
Witness testimony.
I
I'm
didn't
rather
kill him.
scared. All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him.
So you said you didn't have the bombs or murder the victim.
But I bet you think I'm lying, right?
I was almost until after I've heard your full testimony.
I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut.
I don't think the judge doubts that.
Who'd wear a suit like that except an astronaut?
A very, very determined cosplayer.
I will say that when I saw you in that movie,
Those are
you
dangerous, very
appeared quite
determined
convincing.
cosplayers.
Though I suppose reality never quite lives up to fantasy.
I guess I'm just a big disappointment. I really don't care what happens anymore.
Oh no, he's completely given up.
I'm giving up.
Huh?
That it didn't come through. Whatever. What a depressing fellow.
For sure.
If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sigh of yours would rub off on the other inmates.
He'd make you... Blackwell, he'd make you look like a ray of sunshine by comparison. Like how it wrapped up on profession. Like how it wrapped off on Prosecutor Blackwell a second ago. I'm losing my faith in my words.
Huh? That was Blackwell sighing? Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun-shy now. It's time to find the truth.
Sorry, it reminds me of a Frederick Newson stream where he saw gun-shy for he saw the word gun-shy for the first time and called it gun-she, and all I could think of is just, I can't be gun-she now.
Cross-examination.
Hold it! So what you're saying is that the victim was still alive at the time?
Of course, he was alive and well.
Silence.
Silence! If so, then you admit you took a man who is alive and well and silenced him permanently with this?
What? No. Knuckle confirmed. Dead ahead. It's no good, Captain. I'm getting sucked in.
Objection! But Mr. Starbuck, you're not in space. Please take your testimony seriously.
Arguably, we are.
It was just nerves. But maybe I shouldn't have said he was alive and well. It was more like he was slumped over.
Those are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Hold it! Is that the elevator inside the launch pad area?
That's right. We always use it to get to and from the cockpit.
Makes sense. So he was just using the route he always used.
Also known as the command module.
In spite of the fact there just been an explosion.
Huh?
I think Mr. Starbuck is hiding something. Something pretty big. Hold it! Passed out? Why was he passed out?
Probably because of the explosion. The noise and vibration were incredible.
No, not knocked out.
It's little wonder a person would pass out, right?
I guess. Not that I'd know.
Apollo, would you not know? Didn't you injure your eye in an explosion?
I've been hit by space debris. The engine's on fire. It's gonna blow.
Isn't it before?
Yeah, this is before the
This is before-
explosion.
yeah, so yeah, he's wearing the eye patch for a different reason.
Yeah, because Candice Arm is still alive.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yes, I see. I guess it does make sense that someone would pass out, especially if the person in question is Mr. Starbuck.
Anyway.
Hold it! Don't worry, I understand. I'll make sure everything turns out all right.
But everyone's glaring at me like I did it.
Apollo, you have to reassure him better than that.
And how am I supposed to do that?
I don't know. Try to imagine how he's feeling and use it to figure out how to boost his confidence. He has confidence since when?
Mr. Starbuck, think back to what Clay used to always say. It's times like these when he would repeat, "I'm fine," to himself.
Oh, now I know where you got the...
I'm fine. Yeah, I guess he did say that a lot. But even if I shout it, Clay will still be dead. What's the use?
Could somebody please reassure me now?
Apollo, something strange about Mr. Starbuck's testimony.
Oh, thank you, Lord, if there is one. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I'm just waiting for Judge and for Blackwell to do.
I already did. I just couldn't get it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Blackwell already did. We're just waiting for everyone else to join in on the
I'm just waiting for one big off.
Ah. There's a glaring contradiction. I just wonder why it's there and what it means for our case.
Well, doesn't look like he's lying, at least.
Guess I'll have to show some evidence. Anybody? I know what it is, but anybody?
No thoughts,
No.
head empty.
Saying,
I be dumb.
The power was out, so how can the lifts be working?
Oh, true. Yeah, only the
right.
security system was.
in my defense, my brain has been fried by this weather.
It's fine. I just thought I'd get people an opportunity to kind of pitch in.
For posterity, I best note out that it's fucking hot right now.
Yes.
I think Burr is dying.
Mr. Starbuck, I need your testing to be as accurate as possible.
Was I not being accurate?
No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level.
You are remember.
What makes you say that, Mr. Justice?
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I'm fine.
Okay. And seems that Laura's caught the sighing in the show.
Oh boy.
Divot, you said the line, by the way?
I'll say it again. What makes you say that, Mr. Justice?
Thank you very much. Please recall where the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle of the elevator was engulfed in flames.
Oh, right. Which means...
Exactly. The Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable, in other words. Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts. Why are you being all sus right about now?
Oh, Mr. Command! Mr. Command, can you read me? Come in, please!
10 out of 10. Objection! This is Mission Command. I order you to pay attention. Stop this nonsense and answer my question, Mr. Starbuck.
Ah! My helmet! Ah! My oxygen tank! Oxygen concentration and body temperature declining. Requesting medical assistance! Ah!
Medic.
Yeah.
Mr. Starbuck, we're not in space right now. Please stop pretending that you have lost consciousness and stand back up.
Oh, sorry. I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth.
But gravity is on.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut.
Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr.
Well, like Astro Nut.
Mr. Very good.
Yeah. Well, no. Let me. I'll leave.
No, please. If you got a pun, go for it.
No, it's not as good as Lemmings.
Doesn't matter. Just say it.
No.
Okay.
Aw.
Just leave it.
Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle elevator?
I was nervous. I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually took a different route, I think.
You think?
A different route?
I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time.
I'll get it right this time. Maybe. No, I mean probably.
Delivering a straight story is harder than you might think.
Probably.
It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you that accuracy is paramount in court. With this testimony.
My escape route.
Let's see. My escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe. Probably. With the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level. Yeah.
So you're saying you escaped without using the elevator?
That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper and middle levels. I used that ladder to get to the middle level.
How?
Yeah, without his arms, how?
With his
Luckily,
teeth.
yes. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder, so we could make our escape that way.
So through just sheer determination.
And the capsule you mentioned, I suppose you mean the thing next to Mr. Terran here? Was the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you?
It almost goes without saying, but yeah, that capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. With this spacesuit on, clay weighed a ton. but securing the capsule
Why?
was also important.
Why the heck would you take asteroid samples into space?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bothering me as well.
I think that is explained. Don't quote me on that though.
Okay.
I sure hope so.
I need you to answer to the best of your ability. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is riding on your testimony.
Maybe I'm guilty after all.
Oh no, he's sighing again, Athena.
I wonder if you
contagious
can
like
see the
yawning.
stars in prison. Yes, Bert?
Sighing is contagious like yawning.
Bet it's more comfortable than a spaceship.
I've heard of yawning being transmissible, but sighing? Yeah, skip route.
And in this case,
Oh,
it is.
she's crunching.
Ooh, crunch.
No, first time.
Also, this is a demonstration of why self-deprecating.
What was that about self-deprecation? I didn't quite catch that.
This is why self-deprecating humor both sucks, both for yourself and your friends. Eventually,
Yeah.
it just sucks the life out of a room.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a note for myself as well. I'm calling myself out as well here.
It's a cautionary tale for all of us. We're all
Yeah.
It's a thing you need to be careful with because you can enforce the thing way too much on yourself.
Yes. What's better is to be like not self-confident, but just like over-exaggerate. Like if you drop something, just like I am the best fucking acrobat kind of thing. Because then it makes people laugh, and it makes
Yeah.
you laugh too.
And like if you can manage it, at the very least, try to be neutral about yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Julius Caesar did during the invasion of Britain, when he fell off the ship and fell on the ground. He just grabbed some of the dirt and said, "See, I already have British soil in my hands."
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way you could climb a ladder with both those things. Sorry.
Yeah.
Objection! Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth?
The truth? Let's see. The Earth is blue. The moon landings were fake. No, that's not right.
No!
I guess the Earth isn't blue. Yeah, that's it.
I'm starting to think you're an astronaut.
If you start talking about flat Earth, I'm having you evicted from this court.
Yeah, same.
He's probably been forbidden to say that there's elephants and a turtle under the earth.
The truth, Mr. Starbuck.
Yeah, my oxygen concentration is super low in this area. Prepare the emergency oxygen tanks.
Mr. Justice, the witness appears confused. Please help her out the truth of them.
Okay, Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the Bone Lounge via the upper level route.
Huh?
Not as long as this was along the escape route. A ladder. To get down from the upper to the middle level where the launch pad 1 corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck?
Looks like
Of course. That was the only way we could escape.
Yes, Shadow?
the ladder puts you in a tight position.
Yeah.
I was trying to get a ladder in your tights joke there. Just
I mean, to be fair, I could have used the vents.
Yeah.
Where was
that's
the
an inventive
explosion?
solution.
At least I'm not able to make a joke about this being a stepladder.
Yeah.
But like I asked, where was this explosion? Was it like in the top of the rocket itself?
I think so, yeah. Well, midway in the rocket, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a thought, but I don't know where it's going yet.
Objection. But how would that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Terran over your shoulder, were you not? And I remember he was in full space gear, as well, putting him at over 200 pounds.
Oh! I mean, I did drop him. I mean, well, if he's on the moon, gravity is 1/6 of what it is on Earth.
Objection! But the space center is located on Earth! Should have been an octopus climbing a ladder with an adult male and space gear in one arm while carrying the capsule in your other is impossible, wouldn't you say?
I mean, I dropped them. Oh!
Laura says, tonight I'm going to be climbing a step ladder.
Step ladder.
Very true, Mockly.
No, but
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to my step ladder. My real ladder left when I was 18.
He went out to get milk and then never came back.
yeah.
So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down that ladder with your arms full?
Ah!
What?
Don't you know I'm an astronaut? I'm just that good.
Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth now.
Okay, I'm an alien octopus.
Ah! What's up, there?
And,
He's gonna reveal that he's an alien octopus, actually.
Oh no. Engineer! Where's that engineer? Oxygen leak detected due to faulty maintenance. Evacuate!
what the? He's flying the coop?
That would explain how he got down the ladder.
Help! I'm caught in the ceiling!
Instruction is unclear. I'm stuck in the ceiling vent.
Help! Anyone?
Bailiffs, prepare the tray pickup. We must halt office commission at once.
That's one way to take a Bobby in question.
It's also it's living up to a misconception about how parachutes work.
Yeah, but come on, it's comedy.
It is.
I'd rather prove his innocent.
Just let it go.
To pop that cherry, sir.
I'd rather
He's
prove.
not.
I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real.
So, Apollo, did he parachute down?
That's your answer, I think. Yeah.
Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground?
It's the best explanation I've got.
Yes. I apologize for losing control.
Are you ready to tell us the truth?
Maybe. Not that. Anything but that.
Anything but the truth.
What is going on?
Space aliens that suck under my face.
What is going on? This isn't the Mr. Starbuck I know.
Oh dear.
It appears Spaceboy is prone to deception. Witness!
Me.
Witness! Yikes. Yes?
I thought your story odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect.
Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't talk about that.
What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Didn't I already state that Spaceboy's ironically terrified of going into space? That's why I took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system.
Oh, I sense things are about to nosedive.
Oh, it's fine. I've been taking them since I was 16. You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear.
It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be?
Somebody must have slipped them to me. But I guess that maybe that's why I don't remember. Because of the side effects.
It would have been the first time someone got drugged in this.
Yeah,
game.
that's why I don't remember much about what really happened.
We have been drugged unconscious.
What?
Well, if they do have a sedative effect, that would explain it.
Order! Order in the court!
We can't get any useful testament out of him if he doesn't remember anything.
Well, certainly explains why his testimony kept changing.
Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember?
I guess he didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going into space.
Maybe I really did do it. Also, I'm not terrified of going into space. I'm terrified of coming back. That shit gets hot.
He's not wrong.
He's not.
Which brings us to the answer of our original question. Of how the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body.
It does? So, what is it?
A dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints, Justice Son.
So yeet him.
Oh, I've seen that movie. That's Pirates of the Caribbean. That
So
man
the body
feels
was-
no pain.
So the body simply dropped down from the top of the ladder.
I see. And the defendant could climb down with his free hand.
So wouldn't that dislodge the blade?
Objection! Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Besides, dropping the body down would leave marks on the body itself.
Yeah, especially when there's 3 floors down.
But spacesuit.
So you are capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct.
Really? Oh, thanks.
It's a panic.
Huh? What's this?
It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why.
You can't be implying it ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body.
I am, for they fracture easily when struck.
Objection! Even if that's true, the tank's explosion shrapnel would leave its mark on the body. According to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body.
Yeah, and you know what fractures even easier? Fucking bones and blood vessels.
You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
So if it's that easy to pop, the explosion should also already have popped that oxygen tank.
A
Yeah.
spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Son. It includes the latest technological advances and is made of the fabric of tomorrow. Oh dear. Fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space.
From the dangers of tomorrow.
So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer.
Objection! Then shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well?
Fair enough.
It should, and yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit structure and found its way to its target.
It's unfortunate.
What are the chances?
You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself with knowledge of how suits work.
He's got me there.
And now, my argument has been proven. Space Boy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped his body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made sure the camera recorded them. There's no room for debate about these facts. It's clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran.
It would have been even harder to pin it on anyone else.
Here, the report regarding the astronaut's oxygen tank. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment to cross the river Styx.
I think you specifically need coins for that though.
Oxygen tank data added to the court record. The victim's tank was ruptured with 0% left. The defendant's had 80% remaining. Oxygen is displayed on the left shoulder.
That's wrong, because if Clay is the if Starbuck is the one carrying Clay through, why does his oxygen tank on his shoulder in the picture show 50?
Very good.
Yeah,
It does?
indeed.
It
It
does,
does.
yeah. Because I was
It shows
I was
50,
looking at
yeah.
I was looking at it because as soon as he brought the oxygen tank up, I was thinking, well, that okay.
yeah.
So where does this tie in? See, it's
I'm
50%.
I'm blind. It's like so obviously 50. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Hey, this
No,
report
but
is pretty detailed.
Yeah, Shadow?
It,
So who's got? So either he was fucking around in there for quite some time for it to drop to 50. Why? How would it have?
No,
How would it have,
no, so you're thinking backwards. This is a report at the end of the incident, meaning that the tank. You're right, because effectively what's happened,
how'd?
unless they refilled the tank, there's no way that they could have done that.
Yeah, exactly.
Report
unless
is
this
pretty
tank
detailed.
is someone completely else's.
Let's see. A split on the astronaut's left shoulder shows that oxygen remains. I guess it means these glowing cyan digits represent the amount of oxygen remaining.
I'm done for.
Well, if you keep sighing like that, no wonder the oxygen goes down fast.
I'm going to prison instead of space.
Space prison.
Space boy.
There's intermission coming up, so we'll go have the break then.
Alrighty.
Yes?
Take heart. The bejeweled night sky is still beautiful even when viewed through bars.
You mean the stars are seen from prison?
That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view through the iron bars. It's like it being an astronaut in your own craft for all time.
That's not half a bad thought.
Mr. Starbuck! Crossing a black horse got him good.
Spaceship personnel, fly me, my guilt, and my despair into the deepest, darkest space. And then, let's get sucked into a black hole together!
Objection! Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope.
I already did. Oh, yes. Apollo?
You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you were an incredible man. He said you'd never give up your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation.
He said that?
So don't give up now, and let me prove your innocence. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clay Tarrant.
For Clay.
You're wasting your breath.
Ah! Ah! Yeah!
I don't prefer this over his sighing.
Yes.
Okay.
Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now.
Mr. Starbuck.
Brain is gone.
I'm
I was
fine
holding
now.
that back, but I'm glad you said it.
Someone had to.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission.
Right. We'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent, you'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space.
Ah! You've ignited the booster rockets of my soul! I'm on fire!
Can someone put him out then?
I'm Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself! This is no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down.
Dash.
The sun, the moon, all of space is calling me, Solomon Sol Starbuck. Ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5,
4,
3?
2, 1.
One.
One!
I'm a little late.
Lift off.
Where are you going? I must go. My people need me.
And then it's like,
Fish spot
so
refurb.
yeah.
Well, I feel like I wouldn't like to rocket launch.
Apollo, you did? You broke Prosecutor Blackwood's grip over Mr. Starbuck. Why do I keep stumbling over his name?
I can't take the credit. It was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through.
If you simpletons are done massaging one another's egos, no matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable.
I know you've never had a positive emotion in your life, Blackwell, but just listen.
Yeah.
Wrecked.
Yes. Also, Mr. Starbuck, the media called. They want to know what shirts you wear.
I have to but wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your baldness?
Yeah, I can't let up now. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. I won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. I've got to destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Think, Justice, think. If the only people at Launchpad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck, and if Clay was already dead by the time this footage was taken, then the only person who could have killed him is Mr. Starbuck. So the only way to counter Blackwell's argument is if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge. In which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. Now,
Splashing blue at you.
let's see.
Yeah, how and why was the second tank used? How is it that one was 80 and the other was 50?
At this data we just received, it supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped
Unless-
Clay's body in Launchpad 1. No, I've got it.
Was alive and using it.
But if I'm going to prove that false, there must be something I can use here. Yes, Shadow?
Unless the people are swapped around. That's not
That's-
Starbuck carrying the other. That's not Starbuck carrying him.
It's
That's
Clay carrying Starbuck.
Carrying Starbuck.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
of course.
you've seen it.
That could be
You're
possible.
you're getting too far ahead. We should be turning the case upside down by the end of it.
Very,
No
ast-
wonder I didn't remember anything.
very
I
astute
was
of you, Shadow. I'm going to prove something false, then there must be something I could use here. Something.
Enough of this farce, your baldness. Let's have your verdict.
Objection! Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush this verdict. But about this action tank data you just submitted just now, it says Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining, Mr. Terran's had 0. Do you stand by the accuracy of this report?
Of course.
How to update it.
Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes.
You will explain what you mean, Justice Dono.
It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case.
Take a look at this photograph.
Take a look at this detailed description and you'll see what I mean.
I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory.
Yes, Your Honor, run away. This is the evidence the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to. It's the digital camera footage.
Yes.
Yeah. Take that!
And how does this evidence present a
The problem is this part here.
The number.
Take that! Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as he carries Mr. Terran.
It appears to say 50.
Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining.
The oxygen in the tank increased.
I see Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there's a contradiction, but the increase in the tank oxygen is beyond illogical.
Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on here?
Silence! I too find it odd that the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be as odd. It would be as odd as if my rations were to increase. But what does that prove? Doesn't change the fact that it is the defendant carrying the victim's corpse.
Please, Blackwell,
Objection!
you're smarter than this.
I'm gonna bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules.
Oof.
Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations shouldn't increase. Therefore, this new information is crucial. We can't overlook it.
Silence.
Silence! In that case, you have an answer to this riddle of mysteriously increasing oxygen? You'd better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency a mere equipment malfunction.
Possibly Google has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you can provide adequate argument at this point,
Yes, Shadow was right.
I'm afraid I must bring this
All
trial
along.
to an end. So, do you think you can explain why the remaining oxygen level increased?
Of course I can. Thing to do at a time like this is to turn my thinking around. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried clay. This man with the 50 on his tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. If anything, the Splendid's oxygen tank should have shown 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what should I be asking if it's not why did the oxygen tank level increase, but what had to have happened to make it look like it increased? Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumption here?
Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. The victim was carrying the defendant. What if it was the other way around?
The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage, but it turns out this is where our base assumption went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran at all. It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge.
It was what?
Yes.
Order! Order! Mr. Justice, you mean to tell me that the person in the right of the image is the victim, Clay Terran?
It's the only way the riddle of the increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%.
I'm back. On time, apparently. That's right, there's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing.
This means Mr. Terran was alive as they made their escape to the lounge.
Silence.
How short your memory is! Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at that point in time? How did he descend the ladder with his arms full?
Objection!
Objection! What's your black quill? You can't hurt me with a broken blade.
That's incorrect.
Excuse me?
It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigating. We have proven that Mr. Terran was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims and opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. There were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene, but can we truly trust their statements?
See, the two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You figure one of them might have given a false statement to them?
Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging.
The team will have to hear the testimony of these two people in the scene.
Score!
Come to the grid. Detective Arms should be here in court right now. Bailiff, it appears so Detective Arms to the stand.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I have an announcement, everyone.
What's the meaning of this? There's a bit of a trial here.
Please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. The bomb was refused, but it's about to explode.
You mean somebody set us up with a bomb?
Food!
Bye.
A bomb? Now! Oh, everybody run!
I don't want to die.
It's panicking. And we should be too, honestly.
Let's get out of here!
Oh, someone grab my control! No!
Silence.
Silence! Headless chickens with a death wish, the lot of you. Calm yourselves before all else.
Come on, let's get out of here.
What about Mr. Starbuck's dream? About anyone carry Clay's final wish?
You're going to die.
I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow off the truth forever.
Apollo, what the fuck?
I refuse to let things end here.
Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna die. Come on, this way.
Hey, let me go.
No, I'll carry you like the potato sack if I have to. You're coming with me.
Potatoes.
Juniper? She hasn't evacuated yet. Juniper, are you all right?
Hold on.
Hold me.
No way.
Drop back.
Ah!
Kaboom!
An earth-shattering kaboom.
And now I am the dead. Blah.
To be continued.
After a short break, everyone.
Yeah.
I knew it was not long until we got.
Words from our sponsor.
I know it wasn't long until we got to the next part, so we're just going to quickly save. We'll let it. Oh, good, it's not going to load the next part. Fantastic. So we're going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break here as we just. It's hot. It's hot quite here in the UK. We're going to refill our drinks, go to the toilet, do what we need to do. I'll be back, and then we'll have the final hour left of the show. So we'll see you all back here very shortly.
Tatty bye.
See you.
We are back, everyone, as we're going to continue on with the next part of tonight's stream, which, of course, is the last hour or so of the content. It might be a bit shorter than an hour, it might be a bit longer, who knows. It depends how we get invested in this. But we are continuing on with the Cosmic Turnabout as we begin investigation day 1 of this case.
Could it technically be day 2 because they didn't get to investigate on day 1?
Technically speaking, yes.
In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident.
Oh, you back. You need to change the background.
Shh.
We've changed.
This one destroyed courtroom number 4.
My favorite courtroom.
Oh.
Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber.
Is that crunching?
No.
Sorry.
That's
That's
just
still
like-
crunching.
We did this very,
Yeah.
very serious, like...
Someone needs to stop and start the stream of Phoenix. He's crunching.
Or maybe it's
Being
just
that-
me eating crisps.
I think
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thea and
Sorry.
Athena, that's fine. It's just like going through this very serious, like remembering what happened, and then crunch. Like,
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Leave me
Who's got
alone.
the I've got a bag next to me. Come on.
It's fine.
Athena and I knew that she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. We managed to clear Miss Woods' name by blowing up the face of the person who did it. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted Tonate.
Where'd the coke come from?
Hmm.
December 19th, 3:21 p.m. Write anything agency. I am not doing good. Apollo is a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him.
Yeah, poor guy. Being attacked by Tonate like that on top of his other injuries. Apollo's resting at the nearby Hickfield Clinic. I've had experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in a hospital of all places.
Turnabout medical clinic.
You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody to tease. Don't worry. He's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look this down. We won the case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating.
Right, enough of this, people! This is no time to be moping around. Now dry those eyes, both of you. I'm not crying.
You're the only one who's crying, Athena.
No, that's ninjas cutting onions. Look at all of these. Look, we have work to do. We have to take over. Oh god, she's going for world domination.
Take over what exactly? City?
Apollo in the case, of course. As no verdicts been reached, there's still a chance.
I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade, right, Daddy?
Apollo hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know.
He's fallen and he can't get up. Good, now that that's settled, let's get going. Come on, get around.
The only reason he can't get up is because he's strapped into bed. But wait, right now? Now?
Yes. Yes,
We'd better not be running the whole way.
we will.
There she goes. I better catch up. Can you take care of the office, Trucy?
Nothing, Daddy. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna make some cookies. No, I'm not finishing that.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
You should go make some cookies, that's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Seems
bake
to be
some
pretty-
cookies and pull them out of my hat.
Yes.
Yes.
Like a real magician.
Good
Yes.
call. Yes, good call. Trucy seems to be feeling a little better. I can always count on Athena to perk everybody up with her enthusiasm.
Ooh, she's back.
Don't mind me. Just forgot a few things, like my lunch. Wallet, phone, the documents, my bags,
News.
Sounds more like you forgot everything.
my brain.
I can always count on Athena for that, too.
Well, you didn't forget your head at least.
Only because it was nailed down.
All right, you two, let's be careful out there. And I get left behind. Fucking again.
Oh.
But look at the silver lining. You have all the cookies to yourself.
Yeah, y'all aren't getting any.
December 19th, detention center, visitors room.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, I can only have one assistant at a time, and this one's actually qualified.
Oh god, this segment of the show is what we call Lemming talks to himself.
Thank you, I've got a full glass of water here.
Do you want someone else to take Starbuck in that case, Lemming?
No, I can do this.
Okay.
I can do it.
If you do need to switch, let us know.
Yeah, I will. We've only got like an hour to go, so I think I'm
Still.
good. Right. So our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous, even I've heard of him.
That's right. He's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. Also was at the Southburn. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago.
You seem to know quite a bit about him. Now I'm all excited to meet the man.
And you'll be immediately disappointed.
Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard.
And you live with Apollo.
Apollo told me about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right? Yes, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it.
This is not only Lemming talks to himself, it's Lemming has massive mood swings and talks to himself.
Yeah,
Don't worry
he
about it,
praises-
Mr. Starbuck.
He praises himself and diminishes himself at the same time.
Mr. Wright and I have got you covered.
This is hitting way too close to home for me.
Oh.
You're the new kid that Apollo told me about.
That's all you have to say about
Wait! Don't I know you from somewhere?
Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so.
I guess so. My mistake.
Haven't I seen you in space?
What's I doing in space?
My memory isn't what it used to be.
You came from outer space, you're the imposter.
My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft.
Oh, that can be arranged. I'll just throw you hard enough.
Yikes, he's seriously got to stop depressing himself.
Cheer up, Mr. Starbug. Besides that you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we shine like shooting stars, right?
Like shooting stars, huh?
TWAH! Firing off!
Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we're here to put on this earth to do, right? Shine like stars!
Yay!
I guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh yeah, here we go! 3, 2, 1! To the stratosphere and beyond!
I was wondering how long the game would go for infinity and beyond, but this is close enough.
Yeah, did you catch Banished to the Moon? That's possibly a My Little Pony thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've watched the show, so yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want.
Wait, Drifting, you watched The My Little Pony?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
Oh my, no, it's something I have to sit down and watch the Phoenix Wright and My Little Pony crossover with you guys at some point.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh dear.
I'm down for that.
I mean, I'll watch
Gonna
it,
watch
but
party.
oh dear.
It's good. It's really good.
Is that really all it takes?
Apparently.
So you have no memory at all of the incident? I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as a dark nebula.
well, nebulas show light because that's where stars are born.
Still, it's strange that you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said at the trial?
You got it all wrong. I told him during the I told him during the investigation too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know?
Fair enough.
Oh, the so-called Hatch 1 miracle. That must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart. Come what may. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before a launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. He seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of an astronaut I know.
But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Tranquilizers? We're stepping up our game.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. But I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you. Exactly! That's what I thought. It must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it.
Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed! I'll say, they even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small. Like about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits.
Yeah, the arrow logo's the same.
Utility kits? Yeah. Staff who work on machinery a lot are given these special tool kits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove one of whose knife it is.
Utility knife updated in the court record. Okay, so let's ask about the Hat 1 miracle.
As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right. It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problems? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner. But I managed to make it somehow with the popsicle and ice packs from the freezer.
Huh? No wonder they dubbed it the Hat 1 miracle. It's a miracle you made it back.
Sounds like a lot of maintenance issues occurring at once. Almost like a technician is not doing their job.
Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. Plus, it's not quite as terrifying as the deep darkness of the ocean. But the
Debatable.
vastness of space shows how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on and on forever and ever and ever, without end.
Honestly, space terrifies me more than the abyss of the ocean.
They both do, but that's because I have a phobia of heights, which works up and also down.
There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna save me. I was all alone. All alone, with nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat, and that weird beeping. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking.
That does sound terrifying, though.
An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go into space.
With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission?
What? No way! Of course not!
Don't you lie to me.
Even now, I want to go up into space so bad, I could barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity and escape velocity and spin around weightless.
You're defying gravity, then. But you have to admit it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid?
I was afraid. I was petrified. Of course I was. I still am. But space is man's final frontier. An unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere. The cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. One thing's for sure, Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. The victim, Clay Terran. He was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big exaggerated deal like Master and Apprentice or anything like that. But Clay did think of me as his mentor.
But did he get the night a rank of master?
Ah.
Now he could only be seated at the council. which was outrageous and unfair. But
Sorry,
The second rocket with with Qui-Gon Jinn. The mentor and protege. What a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now,
Clay must have been very encouraging, huh?
yeah, it's funny, really. Whenever I'd hear him shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything really was going to be just fine.
You're fine. Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all of the time too. It's almost like his catchphrase. I always feel encouraged too whenever I hear him shout it. It works.
it's almost like they cut it from the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot, ever since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much, they were like part of the staff. One time during zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit. And the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine!" over the radio. It
Yeah.
was the simplest thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear.
That tracks.
So, I'm fine and you're fine were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases. Huh. I wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now.
Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder?
Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder, so a way has to exist.
Maybe Clay's just a really strong boy and just hoisted him over his shoulders and just held on with the free hand somehow.
From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through barred windows.
You're fine. Solomon Soul Starbuck is fine. Everything is going to be alright.
Huh?
Mathena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright, you too.
Don't really have to.
Yes.
Phoenix Wright is fine.
I can't hear you.
Phoenix Wright is fine.
I'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbucks. Believe in your own
That
innocence.
animation.
And have faith in us.
Apollo believed in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need is a not guilty verdict. It sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're all fine.
Sir, you should first go through complex PTSD therapy before you go to space.
Okay,
Probably,
Mr.
yeah.
Wright.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started pronto. And stop making me laugh.
No, that's what I do. Good idea. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
December 19th, Cosmos Space Station Center. Whatever. Entrance.
I also wanted to add a little small tidbit of info because I was checking why Gyaxa, and I love the description in the Wikipedia for in the
Go on.
Apollo in the Ace Attorney fandom Wikipedia. It's a portmanteau of the Japanese or aeronautics program, the JAXA.
Oh.
And the original Japanese name of the series, which is Gyakuten Saiban.
Oh, that's
so,
pretty.
Gyakuten and JAXA together make Gyaxa.
There you go.
That's pretty neat.
Wow. I was wondering what sort of place this space center would be. It almost looks like an amusement park of the future.
Well done for remembering the line previously. My apologies.
Yeah. Did you know they even let the public see their rockets up close?
No
That
worries,
sounds
I'm
like
a
a hell
professional.
Oh, so check it out. Look at how big and brightly the GXA logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really think the stars are rocket mode if it's got going.
GXA, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program?
Yeah. Strange acronym. I mean, what is GA supposed to stand for? Galaxy?
Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency.
That would just be weird.
Yeah, because galaxy would be pronounced like Gyaraxi in Japanese, even though they have their own word for galaxy, which is Ginga, if I remember correctly.
Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated to GAXA, or even Gaia.
Pretty sure
Oh,
that's
no,
an
not
Earth
the
spirit.
Gaia.
But Gaia, she is more like related to Gaia, which is of the Earth.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was I was saying.
Yes.
I guess so. Oh, I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y.
But why?
This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu.
That's a reference to specifically the stolen turnabout, says the wiki, because there's a sign that reads "burr" because it's partially hidden, and Maya's like, "I bet it's short for burgers," because of course it's Maya.
No,
Anyway.
it's entirely to do with one of our friends right here with us.
Yes.
Anyway,
his coming was foretold.
Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction. Everyone keeps interrupting me.
Anyway,
I haven't been to the actual. Like, I don't think I've been to like. I've been to like a space museum that it like a NASA space museum in Texas. So like this is at least somewhat accurate.
I've been to Cape
It's
Canaveral.
at least the U.S. You know.
yeah.
Oh,
This is Cosmos.
this is Yuri Cosmos. He is the director. He's an old man with a big moustache who rides a Segway.
Theoretically Russian.
Theoretically Russian. Does anyone want to take Mr. Yuri Cosmos?
Tourist attraction. Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Galactic scooter, full speed ahead. Blue October standing by.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yikes! Who's this geezer? What does he want?
Look upon me, Quill. Behold the great power of space science.
Space.
Pardon me, but you are?
My glorious name is Yuri Cosmos. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center, the center of the cosmos.
Boss, that was pretty crow-inducing.
If this person is the Space Center's director, then that means...
Aha, so you were one of the first to discover Clay's body, weren't you?
And who was the first to find the victim? I'm not going to miss this opportunity. I'm going to...
Actually, there were two of them. Sorry, I didn't realize I was still muted.
Damn it. Damn it, I thought it was my time. Well?
I don't. Did you not hear me? Okay. Actually, there were two of them.
The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm.
That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. But this talk of the incident, are you by any chance space police?
Look off! That's what you remind me of.
Maybe.
You can't tack the word space onto just any old thing, you know?
My right hand is a zero creep, so you be careful.
We're Mr. Starbucks' lawyers. We're here to investigate his case.
Sir Creep, that's just my mating call.
And we're Earth lawyers, by the way.
Oh, by the way, hi to Mindwipe and Oceans Blue here in the chat.
Yes, hello.
Whoa!
Not bad, thanks, Ocean.
Oh, I see. Yes, I heard about you. In that case, it's my esteemed privilege to grant you permission to investigate. I trust you're appropriately grateful. Now go ahead, have at it.
I can already tell he's going to be nothing but trouble.
Oh, I will.
Don't let them hear you. Don't let them hear you say that, or you'll see exactly what trouble it really is.
And just bail me out of jail again, it's fine.
Let's just be professional and ask him about when he found the body, okay?
Actually, we should ask him if he saw anyone vent.
So, as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically?
Not I defend space across the galaxy and promote space development in this country, and I do some espionage on you imperialist governments. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we keep going for the sake of the for the sake of mankind.
Oh God, Bert, really?
I believe I used the word specifically in my question.
Attention all personnel! To your break stations, prepare for break! Reject the warp core!
I get it, you just want to run and tell people what to do in a self-important manner.
Duh! That is exactly right, because I am important, man. My manner is important.
Sure. Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm.
Well, there's bound to be some people like that. Here in that boundlessness of space.
I feel very ineffective right now.
Oh, what's that? Well, in Soviet Russia, the sarcasm gets you. Want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? It's my strapping mustache. Very well, I'll tell you. I was the central figure of the Hat 1 project. Will I proceed to be appropriately impressed? Now, go ahead, have at it.
I might be more impressed if I knew what he did for it, specifically. Could you tell us about what you know about the incident from the other day?
Our viewers,
What?
I will not testify to you imperialist pigs. Explaining the job for common folk, not the director or center of the cosmos. I'm so important the whole cosmos was named after me. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in a courtroom.
So does that mean you'll be taking stand tomorrow?
Конечно! I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind.
I'm not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about.
Wouldn't be first. Looks like the Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Or as I like to call it, people who really like to hear the sound of their own voice.
Or as I like to call him, politician.
It's not wrong.
No, no.
Zing!
And most managers.
Yeah.
Then let's at least try to ask him about the thing he might be willing to open up about.
Space.
Bye! The Hat-1 was a rocket that launched into space 7 years ago, correct? And despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home.
I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well.
I'm really trying to clarify.
I will impart you the complete story of the Hat-1 project.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, I could just go watch the movie.
Hat-1's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid. And Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for the flight. Eventually, the Hat-1 reached its planned orbit. From where it launched the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey to the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hat-1 returned safely to Earth. The struggle was with the incident known as the Hat-1 miracle. Oh,
That is me.
I just love the sound of my voice.
Apparently so much that you steal my line. That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat-1 miracle occurred, right?
No, stealing is in their blood, Гражданка, понимаешь?
Oh my.
Correct. It truly was a miracle, of course. They just had to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned there a few days ago.
So what kind of samples are they? What's in them?
The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since we just came back to state before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we've had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of other countries for several years.
That's quite impressive. I guess this guy isn't just loudmouth braggart after all.
No, you're wrong. I am. The golden age of space development. The person with a better PR is the winner. Our predecessors were successful in bringing a Moonrock back.
I swear to God, if you don't make us going to the one place so I can escape capitalism at some point in this case, I swear to God.
Yeah. Me and Elle will hunt you down.
And I'll do it if I have to.
That is the greatest achievement in the history of the Space Center. The public will in love with space and all of its glorious potential. Especially since there's no capitalism there, so anyone can escape.
Moonrock, huh? I remember them being big.
Our endeavors with the Moonrock lives in our work with those asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. That is my mission as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos.
I hear there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days.
We're
They say
all
there was-
space dust, man.
They said the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every country out there. Oh dear.
Stop, bite your tongue. It's not for anything as space as money or politics.
I will not bite my tongue, that hurts.
It is all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind and all for my illustrious mission. the recent budget cuts. My staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it. Damn dreaded capitalism cutting the funds on me. I shall escape somewhere where there's no capitalism. Space!
Perfect segue.
Perfect segue.
I guess even a space program has to watch its budget.
Perfect segue for the man on a kind of segue.
Segue.
Yeah.
By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena.
Huh? Well, I thought I'd be brushed up for the case.
Is that so?
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Roughly sass, Athena.
Well, I will be on my way. As you can see, I am a very busy and very important man. Galactic Scooter! Внимание! Max Battle Speed and Engage!
That thing is surprisingly fast.
Surprisingly fast.
I guess
It's
we're
not-
ready to get going too.
I was going to say, it's not me. You bet! Let's make it so.
I know, I left you speechless.
Nice start. Also, the fact that he just said, let's make it so. Great Star Trek reference there.
Yes.
December 19th, Cosmos Space Center boarding lounge.
I can kind of see that mind wipe, yeah.
Why is there a dinosaur in the background?
That's a good question.
Because why not?
Oh,
Why not? I think we can investigate, though. I think we'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
It's like a seahorse dinosaur.
I love it.
I love it, but
Yeah.
what is it doing there?
You
My-
will see.
My astronauts brought it from space. It will help me conquer the degenerate West. And sorry, don't look at it.
So this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. By that thing behind the glass.
Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see that diagram the police made again. Right now we're in the main building here on the right side on the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled here from Launchpad 1 after the explosion.
Wait, so the seahorse is a witness?
You there! No admittance without express permission.
Oh, please tell him we're going to cross-reference that thing. Cross-examine. That's a word. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We've come to investigate.
All right, nobody gets any permission, not even the police superintendent.
Who would he...
I'd have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me.
So Detective Fulbright is here, huh?
Yeah, he's in the Launchpad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him and we can talk.
Leave it to me. I'm great at getting into out of there we go again with defective Fulbright. That's just going to be his name now. It's fine. Let's see. What
Defective
trick should I
Fulbright.
use him in today?
Also, if I remember correctly, Athena can speak whale, so maybe she can talk to the seahorse.
I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid.
Yes.
Both is good.
So to get to the Launchpad 1 corridor, we just have to go through that door with the blue rocket on it. I think.
Wait, that door? It looks awfully familiar.
Good idea, Bob. This is the door Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad.
It's also the one that requires a fingerprint, I think.
A
Ah.
palm print, it seems.
That's the one. That explains it.
The fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we can just pass through. And if
Oh,
not, I'll
good.
just run face first into it. Now, come on, let's go.
It's a fingerprint, not a face print, Athena.
Boom. Ah!
I can try. Ooh, a robot. An advanced Roomba. December 19th, Cosmos Space Center Launchpad Corridor.
Adina, I am a level 7 artificial intelligence, and what am I doing?
I was going there as well.
Is
Here
that
I am, brave.
His eyes were playing.
So this is it, huh?
Great minds think alike.
Yes.
If you think you've got trouble, what do you do if you are a manically depressed robot?
Life. Don't talk to me about life.
This is the corridor the two of them used in their escape.
Yep. This is the only thing connecting the Launchpad 1 with the main building.
I see the police tape down at the other end. Guess we won't be looking at the launch pad.
After the explosion, this whole corridor must have been filled with smoke.
And the launch pad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them.
Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there.
What should I do? Which path is the path of justice?
Right here.
He seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor's a straight shot.
Excuse me, Mr.
I would be capable of getting lost, though. I'm an idiot.
Detective Fulbright,
I
you're looking
too! Lawyer people! Welcome to the Space Center.
Yes, Lemming, what was that?
I was about to say, Detective Fulbright, you might want to go to the local hospital. You'll find justice there.
Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing?
Sure.
We're here to investigate the scene, same as you. Do you have any info to share?
Boss, if he acts at all reluctant to give us information, we hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it? And if not, we'll do get help.
Are we trying to catch the
We're not
unruly
doing
family
get help.
dog here or something?
Info on the case. All right, I'll gladly share some with you.
I just wanted to interrupt for a moment, because my wife was mentioning Marvin the Martian, and that's also very accurate for the case. This is, where's the kaboom? I was expecting the Space Center shattering kaboom.
Where's the kaboom? No, it's supposed to be an air shattering kaboom.
Detectives and lawyers seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it. Just take whatever you want from me, you info bandits. I'm in a generous mood today.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. There's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. He's the imposter!
Is he on the anti-anxiety pills?
Well, we need information, so let's run with it.
If you say so. He's being very sus.
Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene?
There's an officer on guard and we can't get in. Oh, whatever shall we do?
That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate your heart's content. Take a week if you need it, a month even.
But,
Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub.
No, that's okay, but thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright I know.
I would
More snaps by
definitely.
the second.
Detective Fulbright
go
is
ahead.
acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually.
I could do with that neck rub.
Yeah.
Me too.
Don't I?
Meekings, we have a neck rub request.
Yes, sir!
Oh, no.
Oh, sir!
Oh no.
Oh, sir!
Do you think he hit his head or something?
That might have been me. I dropped a fire extinguisher at the detective.
Oh dear.
Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier.
Is
Is it something to do with the robot?
What do you mean something to do with the What do you mean something to do with the robot?
In
he-
robots
well-
we trust.
No, but like, I don't know how, but like, it's. I don't know. I'm trying to link two objects together in the same corridor, you know?
Yeah.
I
mean,
think the robot
I'm
is
not an
actually
object.
in the. I think the robot is actually in like the opening scene, so I think you're onto something, Shadow.
Yeah, might be. Also, Fulbright might be worried about the AI invasion, so he's trying to be extra nice in the presence of robots.
In robots, we
Hail
don't
the
trust.
Overlord!
There's more. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Getting messages that I didn't realize I was getting and replying to them and going, oh, right, you were here at the Space Center at the time of the incident, weren't you, Detective?
That's right. I was here on security assignment.
The police tried to secure rocket launches now. I didn't know that.
Yes, well, you know us, to serve and protect. The explosions occurred when I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation.
He's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Can you tell us more about what happened?
Of course!
He's just a huge space nerd and he doesn't want people to know.
A bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over in the launch pad 1 also blew sky high.
Oh my.
So I immediately instructed the visitors and the employees to evacuate to the shelter.
I've never actually seen Sky High. I should probably watch it sometime. The shelter?
That's right. There is an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like.
So when the first bomb went off?
I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion. And the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way.
Well, to get down to the basement shelter.
No, we lowered an emergency ladder from the 4th floor window and escaped that way.
That must have been a lot better then.
It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any survivors. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter.
Deal. Climbing down an emergency ladder kind of sounds fun. No. No, it does not.
No. Athena, what do you? What kind of things are you considering fun?
She's an adrenaline junkie though, so.
Thank you for your answers, Detective. They were very helpful.
Just a moment! I have some more information to share with you.
Huh?
But don't interrupt me to go, okay?
And Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash too.
Well, never mind that.
Well, I mind
I
that.
thought you should know that there was a witness.
Huh?
Oh.
Could you tell us more about this witness?
Sure thing. The witness was Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window into the 3rd floor lounge.
Was she always looking into the crime scene from the outside?
That's right! It was just a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly yet, though.
You don't? That's the most important thing of all.
Don't worry, I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She should still be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her.
A 4th floor employee, huh? All right. Thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright.
Gee, you sure are being cooperative, Detective. A little too cooperative, even.
Yes, well, actually,
Something you can't talk about?
Yep, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now.
I can imagine him now running away at full speed.
What was that all about?
Something is definitely going on. I'm going to get it out of him the next time I see him. He's being weird.
Okay. I'm not sure he'll talk about it, though.
I have my ways. And that is a Fred.
Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge.
December 19th, Cosmos Space Center. I forgot where we were. Boarding lounge.
Oh, you two. The Fulbright has granted you permission to investigate. Well, since I should bring you some snacks, I'll give you a neck rub too if you'd like.
Don't touch me. Oh, that's alright, but thank you for the offer.
I'll take this next level.
Well, time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. Now let's see. Where's that diagram again? So this lounge is on the 3rd floor of the main building. And according to Apollo, this is where he believes the third party killed his friend.
Stop the recap and start looking for traces of this third person then.
You read my mind, Athena. We'll make that our first priority. There's just one problem, though. This room. It's just so big.
Don't worry, we can use this to help us.
A space edit pamphlet? For tourists?
Yep. Picked it up at the entrance. The maps inside should come in handy. Let's see. Yep, here it is. A map of the lounge. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright.
Oh yeah, that's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock. Well, I guess this map will make things a little easier.
Space Center pamphlet added to the court record.
No excuses. Let's track down the third person.
Wait, there's just one more thing. What's that strange creature moving around outside the window?
Thank God.
Oh, boss, it's just a holographic image.
Oh.
That doesn't explain it, though.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Phew, that's a relief.
There should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on and off. But what is it? Why does it look like a seahorse?
Fun!
That's what it says in the pamphlet, anyway.
It doesn't matter, it's cute.
Yeah, exactly. It's for fun.
The only reason you're so eager to start is so that you can push that button, isn't it?
And what's wrong with that? Let's just look for the button while we look for clues.
Alright, fine. Let's get investigating.
And I think that's actually a nice place for us to actually finish it for this week. So we'll continue with this next week.
Or Athena finds the self-destruct button and presses that instead.
And that, yes. So once again, we will return next Saturday at 7:30, usual time, to continue on with the rest of Case 4. Case 4 is quite a bit shorter than a lot of the other cases, isn't it, Kay, if I recall correctly?
Case 4, I believe it's got there's another trial in here, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of like the flashback case in number 3, where it's shorter, but it's important.
Feels
Not
a
by
lot
necessarily a lot, though.
Feels,
At least
feels
if
a
we
lot like
examine all the stuff. But it's
Feels a lot
definitely
like-
shorter than Case 5, that's for sure. But it is not necessarily shorter by a significant margin than the other cases in this game. But Case 5 is long. So yeah.
But
It feels a lot like Case 4 in Trials and Tribulations, where it was a short case and a prelude to Case 5.
Yes.
And also a sort of flashback case.
yes, Case 5 is quite long. I'm comfortable enough saying to Laura, who will be our special guest for Case 5, that not next week, but perhaps the week after, we probably will be just about there.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 segments. We're at the start of the second segment, but so I'll have Laura on, let Laura know that at the end of next week, we'll probably have a good idea, if we can get close or not. So yes, thank you everyone for joining us. Yes.
Just I quickly Googled it, just to an average length. It's saying that this case, which is 5-4, is a little over 3 hours, but less than 4. And then that 5-5 is more than 5, but less than 6.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Where did you find that?
So yes,
I just googled Ace Attorney case length.
Oh, okay.
And the first link is a Reddit post on someone's walkthrough.
All right, then. Thank you much for that. I appreciate what you said there, Manuel. I'd love a Batman Beyond as a movie. That'd be fantastic. And I want to thank the cast for joining me as ever, Ace, and I'm going to go through them.
Seahorse.
Drifting.
This button do?
Divot.
Justice in space.
K.
Let's see the next case.
Lemming.
I'm going to escape to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Space.
And Shadow.
Space.
That was cute.
Fantastic. We'll return next week. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you like our stuff, you can go check out all the other silly voice episodes we've done. I'll be hopefully streaming at some point in the next week. Yeah, I want to thank everyone of you. Good night, everyone!
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Court is adjourned.
Into space.